Hi there, hope you're well. In today's video I'm going to be making some folding trestles to go with my portable bench. Now these are folding trestles, they're not sawhorses, so they're not going to take a huge amount of weight, but they are lightweight, they're strong enough, and they're folding. Let's go back in the workshop and see what I've made. Just need a minute to get down, hang on. So, simple, lightweight, folding trestle. So yeah, let's get all those lightweight jokes out of the way now. I've made loads of these over the years, and fairly obviously this one is made to go specifically with the portable bench. The height matches the top of the bench height, and the shelf height matches the shelf on the bench, so you can use it as in-feed, out-feed, wide feed, side feed, whatever you want feed kind of trestles. You know, they're not super strong, but they're clearly strong enough and very easy to make. I've made them in the same section as the portable bench legs, so wherever you can fit the bench, you can almost certainly fit the trestles. Very quick and easy to make. I've made them as light as I possibly could, and I think the easiest thing to do, I've made this one completely. I've got the components for a second one ready to go, so why don't I make that one up and talk you through the process. One of the things I like to do whenever I'm making something relatively small like this is to actually draw out a plan, a drawing, same size. I'm just using a piece of old wallpaper, lining paper for this. Then it gives you, you know, a decent sort of plan to work to. I've got the legs beveled at 15 degrees because it gives you a fairly narrow footprint, which is handy. And everything else just kind of falls in from what you need to have. With this one anyway, you know, the height is dictated by the bench, and the shelf height is dictated by the bench, which is where the mid rails come in. These rails are beveled at 15 degrees as well, so you get a flat face. As I said earlier on, the header, the top rail here is just a little bit deeper, just in case you want to put a hand grip in there or something like that. So those are the two frames. Again, very, very simply constructed, very, very simply made. I made the first one with dominoes, and I've made this one with dowels. And apart from an initial little bit of alignment, a cheap little, I think it was a 15 quid dowel jig from Amazon, did a great job, have to be honest. You know, slower, messier than something like a domino, also about 700 and something pounds cheaper. So, you know, you pays your money and you make your choice. Dowels worked really well. I'm sure you could use pocket holes, possibly biscuits as well, I'm not sure. Never tried it. Give it a shot, see if it breaks. You know, as long as you're not standing on them, I don't think it really matters. So they're the two frames. What we're going to do, we're going to lay these out and get them joined together. Now, I will have a set of plans available for this. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to do two sets. I'll have just the trestle plans on their own, and I'll have a bundle with the portable bench plans as well. If anybody's already bought the bench plans, I'll send you an offer code that brings the price of the standalone trestle plans down to the same levels. I can only do that one person at a time through messages on Etsy, because you can't. They're worried about people getting spammed, which is fair enough. So I'll have to do that during the course of the next day or so. So don't jump the gun if you want the offer code for the trestles. If you've already bought the plans, then I'll be doing that shortly. Let's get these put together. We'll get them laid out on the bench like this, just with the two heads against each other. They have twisted very slightly. It's not normally a big problem. Might need to do a little bit of careful sanding on the feet later on just to get them back down. Anyway, let's get these together with the two trestles butted up head to head like this. I'm actually going to use piano hinge, continuous hinge. It is a lightweight trestle. It's never going to take any great weight, and these are perfect for that. A single length that I had, I think it was 1500mm, has done both pairs of trestles, so you know, it works great. And we're just going to offer it up here. I've cut it to length already, of course, and you want that knuckle, and you want that just over the dead centre. And the reason we do every other hole is because we don't want the heads to bind against each other when it's folded flat. Okay. Now for the shelf, in order to get this as lightweight as possible, I've actually made this out of 6mm birch ply with a piece of 12mm at either end to bring it up to the same thickness as the frame, and a little extra piece angled, both ends are angled so they fit in nicely, with an extra little piece on the end, and then we're going to add in one more little piece now. So what we're going to do is, where are we? That's that way around. So that goes into there. So that's centered. And do we do the same as we did before with the other piece of piano hinge. Center this up across the back, and this is just going flat on the back like this. These two faces are never actually going to meet. We don't need to do the staggering. We can put screws in all of these holes. Okay, so that's all right. That goes to there. That flops around a bit. We'll deal with that in a sec. Goes down, locks in. That's okay. We're going to add one more little piece into this, and that's a piece of 12mm, the same width as the shelf. Now that's slightly wider, but cut down a little bit to get these little pegs on the end. And what we're going to do, flip this on its back so you can see it more easily. Oops. Okay, look at that around. It's much easier to see. What we're going to do is we're going to glue this in here like this, so that these little pegs extend over the edge a little bit. Now what I'll do is I'll pop in a couple of little 1mm packers, so it's not too tight. And that locks it in place. Now the only problem we've got with that, of course, is that because we've got that little peg, it's going to get in the way. So we'll just make a pencil mark here and here. We'll make a little notch. I've got a little palm router all set up, so I'm going to be using that, and I'll just do it freehand. We just knock off those furry router edges with a bit of scratch, and then that should just fold up and fit neatly. Those little pegs should just drop into those notches. Yep. And that keeps the whole thing nice and neat and flush fitting, so nothing's sticking out, nothing flopping around. And yet when you want to get it ready to go, it just drops down and locks into place. Simple, sturdy enough, I think, certainly for what I'm going to use them for. If you want to make them heavier duty, then by all means make them out of 3x1 and 4x1. Fit a solid shelf instead of a 6mm skinny shelf. Use proper hinges, butt hinges, and recess them into hinge pockets instead of piano hinge. But this works really well for me for the kind of lightweight tasks that I'm going to use it for. And there we are. Never in doubt. So there we are. That's our simple set of trestles, folding trestles, lightweight. It's to go with the portable bench. As I say, they're only lightweight, they're not sawhorses, but they'll certainly do, and they've certainly done everything that I've asked of them. I've made loads of this type of thing over the years, and they've all gone really, really well. They're simple, quick and easy to make. There's no fancy joinery. I think I said whichever one I made more recently, this one was just with dowels. I made that one with dominoes, and apart from dust collection, there wasn't a huge amount of difference, to be perfectly honest, and they were quick to do. I used the other half of the sheet of birch ply that I bought to make the bench. Obviously you can use whatever bits of scrap you've got lying around. If you've got some 3x1 and 4x1, you can make it from that, whatever plywood you've got, but it's certainly light. It folds down to next to nothing, and it's certainly strong enough for the kind of things that I'm going to be using it for. I'll leave it there for this video. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up, share it freely amongst your friends, and do consider subscribing for more regular workshop videos. A quick shout out and say thank you very much to all my Patreon supporters and my YouTube members. You can join the YouTube membership. There's a big join button down in one corner, or of course come to join the Patreon party at patreon.com/10minute workshop. And thank you very much to everybody who does just that. There'll be a set of plans on my Etsy very soon, if not now, and there'll be a set of plans freely available to my Patreon and YouTube members as well. As I said at the start, I'll do a bundle of plans for these trestles and the bench, and I'll send a coupon code out to everybody who's already bought the plans for the bench to get a discount on the trestle plans, if that's something you want to do. But that's it for this week. Thanks ever so much for watching. I'll leave it there. As always, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, hope you're well. In today's video I'm going to be making some folding trestles to go with my portable bench. Now these are folding trestles, they're not sawhorses, so they're not going to take a huge amount of weight, but they are lightweight, they're strong enough, and they're folding. Let's go back in the workshop and see what I've made. Just need a minute to get down, hang on.